What's up YouTube, and welcome back to another video. It has been a while since I have posted on here, and that was never my intention, but adding another family member to our family ended up being a little bit more of an adjustment and time commitment. I was planning on coming back to YouTube quite a bit sooner, but I ended up just needing a little bit more of a break. But I'm really excited for today's video. I have some really exciting videos also lined up. The next several videos I have planned, and I just can't wait to bring you guys some more content on here. I plan on uploading weekly, and I will do my absolute best to do so, but I still am also still trying to give myself a little bit of ease and grace during this phase of life as well. So let's go ahead and get started with today's video. If you are new to my channel, you can hit the subscribe button so you don't miss my future videos. Today we are diving into 5 things that may be holding you back in your fitness journey. I have personally experienced all 5 of these things in my own journey, and we have supported many women who have struggled with all or majority of these things as well. So if you're in a rut, or you're feeling uninspired, or you're lost and confused in your fitness journey, I definitely think that this video will be helpful for you. So let's go ahead and dive in. So something so common that I see holds people back from either getting started in their journey or starting over again is feeling like you have to have everything perfect before you begin. You are, fixated on the small things, on what supplements do I need to be taking? What time of day is the best to be working out? How many exercises do I need to be doing in a workout? What is the perfect workout split? There's so many question marks when you're starting your journey, and a lot of times it completely paralyzes people from getting started in their journey. But the truth is that there's 110 different ways to do this fitness, do this healthy lifestyle. There's not one way to do it. And a lot of times people feel like they need to have all of the small things figured out, and they need to have all of the answers before they can begin. But if you just got started in your fitness journey, you focused on the big things that do matter, like your nutrition, like your water intake, moving your body a little bit more, and focus less on the little tiny things that are a lot of times don't really have much of an impact on your journey. For example, what time of day you work out, it really doesn't matter. What supplements you take, well, if you take supplements, they supplement your nutrition, but if your nutrition isn't a priority, they're not going to help you all that much. So it's better to focus on, nourishing your body with wholesome foods than it is to spend hours and hours and hours researching, what's the best pre-workout to take. And so a lot of times people get overwhelmed in their journey, and they almost get that analysis by paralysis, where it's it feels there's so much where it's just they just stall and they don't get started. But you could make so much progress within that time frame. Don't focus too much on the small nitty-gritty details, literally just get started. The second thing that held me back for literally 5 or 6 years in my own journey, and is something that I struggled with the most, is having a black or white mentality. And you can call it black or white or all or nothing, but basically what that means is thinking I have to be all in on my fitness journey, or I'm failing and I'm all out. And I was stuck in this rut of being on and off and on and off for so many years, and it wasn't until I found this common ground and this balance that I found peace and happiness in my lifestyle. I felt like I had to be 100% on with my nutrition. I had to be hitting all of my workouts every single week. I had to be perfect with my water intake. And if I had a slip up, or if I screwed up, or if something didn't go to plan, I literally felt like I was on the other end of the spectrum, I was completely failing. And that would cause me to feel guilty, to completely fall off track, and for it to sometimes take days or weeks for me to get started again. The thing that I was constantly telling myself was, I'll get started again on Monday. So let's say I got started on Monday and then something came up on Tuesday where it was like I just ran out of time in my day. It was a really busy work day, or something just came up personally where I wasn't able to get my workout in that I had planned for Tuesday. I would literally feel like an absolute failure for not getting my workout in. So I would say screw it to my workout. I'd say screw it to my nutrition. I would eat whatever I want. And then it would continue on for the rest of the week of me in that like screw it mentality, because I was either all in, and in that case I'd screwed up. So I had completely fallen and thrown all of my goals out the window, and I would tell myself I'll get started again on Monday. You can imagine all of the like missed opportunity during those days where I was saying screw it to my goals, where if I just would have looked at it more like, okay, I missed a workout, life happens, we're going to continue on and keep, working towards our goals. I can still, make my nutrition a priority, and I'll get my workout in tomorrow. It's not the end of the world. If I would have looked at it with that mentality, I would have still been able to make progress during those days versus completely like throwing it in the bag. And so if we think about our fitness journey as less of like we're all in and all out, and more of like, where is that balance? Like, where can I find that peace and happiness where I don't feel, guilty when life throws me a curveball? Because that is life. We're constantly, planning and preparing, but things don't always go to plan. Like, you might pack a lunch one day and it could be like the perfect, most balanced, macro-friendly lunch, but then you go to work and you're like, shoot, I forgot my lunch in the fridge. Like, little things like that happen, and you can't let those small things get to you and, get you in that screw it mentality, unless it's like you're just missing out on like so much progress. And it's also really hard on you mentally. Like, you'll beat yourself up for like small like mistakes, but like we are only human, and every single person makes mistakes, and life will always throw us curveballs. Like, things are, always gonna go a little bit different than planned. Now, the third tip that I have that holds a lot of people back from like feeling their best and seeing results is not having enough protein. Protein is an essential macronutrient, and if you want to make sure you're having like really balanced meals that support how you feel and the results that you see, you need to make sure that you're having enough protein in your diet. Protein really helps just regulate your blood sugar levels. It helps with satiation. It helps you build lean muscle mass and repair so that you can see better results, especially if you're wanting to lose weight or, tone up, which is essentially like lowering your body fat percentage and increasing your lean muscle mass. You need to make sure that you're having a sufficient amount of protein in your diet. For me personally, whether, when I was starting my fitness journey or even today, if I don't have enough protein in my day, I feel it. My cravings are usually a lot higher. I'm craving, way like more sugary, high carb, more processed foods, and I just like don't feel as good. I don't feel as full throughout the day. So it really has like a big impact on my day-to-day, but then I also noticed a big difference on my results when I was continuously eating a sufficient amount of protein in my daily diet. And when I say diet, I don't mean like diet, like keto diet. I mean like just as my nutrition as a whole. So it's recommended to have 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So that's just kind of like a general recommendation. So if you do the math on that and you feel like you're falling well below that, first things first, you're so not alone. Like 80 to 90% of ladies that we work with are not eating enough protein, and you're gonna notice like such a big shift on how you feel just as soon as you start implementing more protein. And if you're like, I don't know where to start, you can even just start with Googling like different protein sources, just to start to look at some like different ways of incorporating protein into your like daily routine. And you can aim for like 20 to 30 grams of protein at each meal. That will kind of allow you to get in a bit more protein throughout the day so that you're not like hitting the end of the day and you're like, oh shoot, I have 80 grams of protein that I still need to eat, because that is difficult. Been there before. But getting a sufficient amount of protein in is really, really essential, especially if you have goals of like building more lean muscle mass. And the great thing about more muscle mass on our body is it means a better metabolism. Okay, tip number 4, where I see a lot of people struggle as well, is like relying on motivation. And I know you've probably heard this 10 times before, but what I think happens to a lot of people is they're not accepting of the fact that like motivation comes and goes for everyone. If your motivation is at an all-time low right now, that's like not a you problem. Every single person experiences this. It doesn't matter if you have 50 pounds to lose, if you are 5 pounds away from your weight goal, if you're trying to drop a jean size, or if you are literally at your goal and you're just trying to maintain it, your motivation will come and go, especially as like life events happen. Like, for example, while I was pregnant, I had no motivation for my entire pregnancy. Or when it's been like a busier season for like work for me, like sometimes my motivation just like slips and it's gone. And if I was only relying on motivation to see results, again, I would be constantly falling on and off and on and off. And I would be waiting for these bursts of motivation to get started again. And that is why we have to lean into being disciplined in our journeys. We have to show up for ourselves even when we're not feeling motivated. And that is where, so much progress lies, because I would say like on average, I may be motivated for like a few days or a few weeks at a time. It doesn't often like last for much longer than that. And that's not even enough time to really see that much progress in your journey. So if you're relying on motivation to see progress, you're going to be always giving up right when your motivation slips, and you're going to be feeling like, well, what was the point of that? I didn't even see any progress anyway. But that's because you didn't even give yourself enough time to make great progress. And that's where, we need to be disciplined, and we need to continue showing up for ourselves and recognizing that it is so normal for that motivation to come and go. And we still just have to, keep putting our best foot forward even when we don't want to. There are so many days I don't want to work out. There are so many days I just want to say screw it to the meal that I had planned for dinner, and I just want to, order takeout. And sometimes I do, but majority of times I'm disciplined enough to know that like, no, this is my health. This is my goals. This is what's going to allow me to feel my best. So I should be, disciplined with like continuing on with what I had planned. And I think that sometimes people confuse discipline with being like strict and like restricting yourself. That's not what I mean at all. I just mean like having a plan and actually sticking with it no matter how you feel. Now, this brings me into the 5th thing that might be holding you back from seeing results. And this is a huge one. This is you're not making it a lifestyle change. If right now you feel like what you've been trying to do can only work for you for a couple days or a couple weeks, it's not going to be something that works for you long term. So rather than thinking about what can I do to lose that 10 pounds I'm wanting to lose, shift it into what can I do to lose that weight that I want to lose, but how can I also keep it off for good? How can I do this in a sustainable way? That is going to allow you to enjoy this process so much more, and it's going to allow you to be able to maintain it at the end of the day as well, because gaining and losing the same weight over and over and over again is so exhausting. So rather than just like, fixating on the quickest way to, get to XYZ goal, shift that into what small changes can I make with my nutrition, with, maybe being more consistent with my workouts, with getting in some more daily steps, with increasing my water intake. What small shifts and changes can I make? Again, doesn't have to be drastic. What small changes can I make that will support me in reaching my goal? And are these changes something that I can actually stick with long term? And if the answer is no, then try to make some different shifts and changes in your life that feel good for you. Because if you don't, enjoy what you're doing, and if it feels like something that's so out of alignment from like your schedule or your structure or, your routine, your work life, like it's not going to work for you long term. And that's why we have to really lean into like getting accepting that this is a lifestyle change and this is something that is going to be a part of your life forever. Like, health is very, very, very important to me. Does that mean that like I like never enjoy myself? Absolutely not. I literally drank wine last night and I'm gonna have some dessert tonight. I absolutely enjoy myself, but I still make my health a priority consistently. And that is what has allowed me to make this a lifestyle change, because I am all about balance and enjoying things in moderation, but always coming back to making sure that I'm taking care of myself, my health, and moving my body consistently. So those are the 5 things that I so commonly see people being held back by in their journeys, and I don't want that for you. We are pushing and working towards our goals, and just be kind to yourself in this process. You're not going to be perfect. Nobody is perfect in their journey. I am so proud of you. I know that you care about your health and you're watching this video because you know you want to be better. You want to hold yourself to that higher standard, and I'm just so excited for you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you related to any of these 5 things that I chatted about in this video, I would love for you to let me know in the comments down below. And thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Bye!